Every single day, humans consume more than 2 billion cups of coffee. It is a massive global ritual, yet it depends on a biological process that is now under significant environmental pressure. That process began in the misty highlands of East Africa, the specific environment where the Coffea arabica plant first evolved. Long before the legend of a goat herd named Kaldi, the indigenous Oromo people were the first to harvest these wild plants. They didn't drink coffee as a beverage. They crushed the berries and mixed them with animal fat to create calorie-dense, energy-boosting rations for long journeys. The question is how a plant so localized and sensitive to its surroundings escaped this specific African ecosystem to conquer the world. This global expansion started when a localized African plant broke free from its native ecosystem, beginning a journey toward becoming a worldwide commodity. The seeds first traveled across the Red Sea to Yemen, where Sufi monks used the stimulating effects of the brewed cherries to sustain their nighttime devotions. From the monasteries of Arabia, the drink reached Europe, evolving from a suspicious foreign elixir into the primary fuel of the 17th century coffeehouse. Because the trade was so lucrative, the plants themselves were closely guarded. But in the 16th century, a Sufi monk named Baba Budan smuggled 7 germinating seeds back to India, planting them here in the hills of Karnataka. British colonialists eventually scaled these early plantings into massive commercial estates, transforming Indian forests into high-yield plantations to meet the booming demand in London. Coffee had successfully transitioned from a protected religious secret into a central pillar of global commerce and colonial trade. Today, that commercial industry is built around 2 distinct biological types, Arabica and Robusta. They have different survival strategies. Arabica requires the cool air of higher elevations, while Robusta grows at lower, hotter altitudes. This biology affects taste. Arabica offers a smoother, acidic profile, while Robusta is known for bold bitterness and double the caffeine content. Both are highly specific about their climate. They generally need temperatures to remain between 15 and 28 degrees Celsius, with reliable rainfall to produce a viable harvest. To meet these demands, farmers have learned to manipulate the environment. In India, a 2-tier shade system uses taller evergreen trees to act as a physical buffer, cooling the coffee plants below. This complex agricultural work is the foundation for the modern retail experience, where coffee is treated as a sophisticated artisanal product. These centuries of agricultural effort were driven by a single goal: overcoming coffee's biological limits to ensure a consistent global supply for the modern café. But just as global coffee culture peaks, the environmental window that sustains the plant is beginning to close. Once temperatures exceed 30 degrees Celsius, the plant's biological processes begin to fail, the berries shrivel, and the harvest is compromised. This chart tracks the impact across the global bean belt. Over 5 years, climate change added dozens of extra days of coffee-harming heat. The top 5 producing countries, supplying 75% of our coffee, face this rising heat, making farmland increasingly unsuitable. Farmers are moving cultivation uphill to find cooler air, but this shift risks local deforestation and threatens the livelihoods of the smallholders who produce most of the world's beans. Rising temperatures are turning the coffee plant's biological sensitivities into a systemic liability, pushing the global supply chain toward a breaking point. The most effective defense against this crisis is a return to agroforestry, growing coffee within a biodiverse forest rather than a cleared field. Adopting this change on a global scale would mean moving away from high-yield, full-sun monocultures. The science is clear. A diverse tree canopy acts as a natural air conditioner, lowering the ground temperature by as much as 4 degrees Celsius. When we look at the coffee in our hands today, we are seeing the end of a long, historic chain that links African forests to modern global trade. Maintaining that chain now depends on protecting the fragile ecological balance that allowed this seed to leave the forest in the first place.